Hey,
How are you?
not too bad yourself.
I'm really good, thank you very much. Yes, so lovely to see you. I know you've been busy
I
working.
have.
I know, so it's lovely to see you this morning, and
Thank you.
yes, and for you to jump on. So thank you ever so much.
Oh,
I know you've
bless
got
you.
loads to do, and just to let
It's
you know,
nice to take a break, I suppose.
huh?
Nice to take a break.
It is, isn't it? It is lovely to take a little break. I see this as my hour to dedicate and clear my head and just talk and enjoy and do something crafty, because who knows what I'll be doing for the rest of the day. And likewise with you. So,
Yeah,
yeah. So I hope it's a lovely sunny day wherever you are. Uh,
it's glorious. Yeah.
it's beautiful up here as well. So I think a spot of sitting in the garden may happen today. So we'll see. We'll see how much work gets done. But yeah, I think, and I certainly might be putting my parents out in the garden as well, just to get some fresh air, because they don't go out for walks. We've agreed that they can't go out for walks. They shouldn't be. So I think if we get the chairs out and sit them out there, then they'll be quite happy. So yay! So anyway, now,
Okay.
if you're wondering where the third one is, where is Robert? He's gone out shopping this morning. So, and you know what happens when you go shopping at the moment? You cannot tell how long the queue is to get in at the till, what happens, or anything. So, if he makes it back, he makes it back. If not, we'll see him tomorrow. So, don't worry, Robert's fine. It's just one of those general things that when we thought we could pop out and do everything in an hour, we can't anymore, can we? So, yeah. So anyway, I'm really happy this morning. I know it's Wednesday, and we'll go through who's on. But look what arrived! My 40 centimeter circular needle arrived, so I can finish the arms. So that's going to be wonderful. So hopefully, a project will be done in the next couple of days, so I can take these long things off and put them back. So, shall we say good morning to people, bottom to top or top to bottom, Claire?
Uh top to bottom.
Top to bottom. Okay. Well, you've got me and Claire. Here with you again. So, good morning, Brigitte. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Jackie.
Ooh.
Good morning, Janet. Good morning, Linda. Linda Wood. Sorry, I had to get very
Ah,
close. I've got my lenses in today. Good morning, Marion. Good morning, Marion W. as well. Good morning, Safi. Lovely to see you. Good morning, Sally. And good morning, Trisha. And Sally, before I forget, the company that you gave me the name of yesterday, you gave me the Red Company, didn't you, Claire? Sally gave another Luton-based company.
yes.
If you could just post it again, because I tried to find the website, and I'm not too sure if I had the right website, but they weren't doing anything like what we wanted. So merchandise and stuff. So yeah, just let us know. But lovely to see you this morning, and hopefully you're going to have a really crafty day. So I've got my. Do you know what? This morning, just before we were going live, I actually managed to take a picture of my whip, or one of the whips. So I've even put that in. So I've put that in the Gogglefrogs group. So and Brigitte's just asked a question: why can I not see the names of all the people in the room? That's only for us. So it's all to protect people. We happily say at the beginning, but you don't get a list. It's just the ones running it, because there's email addresses attached to it and stuff. So just to be safe, secure, and not to publish people's information. So that's why we can see it, but you can't. Okay, so going through some of the comments. Sally, good morning, morning all. Trisha's saying, morning, it's a lovely sunny day. And it is, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. Jackie says, morning, lovely peeps. Deborah says, good morning, everybody. Janet says, good morning, everyone. Linda says, good morning, all. What a lovely day. Yes, it is, and it's beautiful here as well. Brigitte says, morning, peeps. Safi says, morning. There's a comment from you, Claire, that you should be able to sort Facebook.
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Yeah. Oh, God, sorry. Thank you.
All right.
This thing sent privately. I should put my glasses on for this, shouldn't I?
Wow.
And then Sally says, what merchandise is being considered? I'm sorry, that's all secret squirrel stuff. So you mentioned a company yesterday. So yeah, myself and Robert have sort of been having a bit of a chat about what we could do.
You got all excited, basically, about a plan. I know how it goes.
Who knows what we can do. So yeah, just any companies that you're aware of, if you've had dealings with them, because what we sort of our ethics, I think we would like to keep things in the UK if we could do, or for ethical companies, and not just look at who's cheap and who does mass produced stuff. So yeah, just like a lot of us get I mean, let's face it, we all get excited about all things yarn, but we get really excited about some of those really bespoke things that we see that you can't get anywhere else. So we'd like to think if we were going to do something, we'd try and do something a bit unusual, but it all depends about cost as well, doesn't it? So sometimes you think, oh, you know, we wouldn't even spend that on it. So no, so we're going to have a look, and hopefully we can keep something in the UK. So let's have a look. Safi is saying, fingers crossed for project bags and enamel pin badges. I think that would be a little start, wouldn't it? But what else could we do? I've had a few little ideas, and I'm sure, Claire, you've had a few ideas about what would be good. So we'll chat about that offline and see if or when we can do anything. So yeah,
we'll just find out if it's all feasible first.
Yeah,
you know, and check out what's out there, and then who knows?
Exactly. So, do you know what? I'm just about to start knitting in the round. You know, when you're knitting the round, when you've actually got something that's the right size. Oh, it's just so amazing to do that. It really is.
Brilliant.
Yes. And it's knitting all the way, which makes it even easier. So I can now complete the tube, I call it, which is an arm. Yeah. And it'll be much, much easier to do on here. So I know that we've had a few pics, I believe. Work in progress Wednesday, so that'll be good. So we'll try to take a look in a little while. But if you haven't posted your pictures yet, please do. And actually, Claire, we're co-hosting again at the weekend, aren't we?
I am indeed. Yes, I am indeed. I will be. Yes, your sidekick for Saturday.
Absolutely. So if you don't know, it's you know whose birthday. So he's having the whole weekend off. He said not for me not to tell anybody, but no, I can say because he's not in the room.
Well,
so that's why
if he makes a fuss over other people's birthdays, then he can't keep his secret as well.
I know.
It's not fair.
I know. So it's you know whose birthday on Saturday. So we don't do Gogglefrogs on Friday. He's off on Saturday, and we don't do Gogglefrogs on Sunday. So he's got a lovely, lovely weekend. So I know the whole of the time that it's been furloughed, I mean, he's done. What's he done? He's delivered prescriptions to people. He's been doing Gogglefrogs, which is it's really weird having to get up and get dressed. And I know it's me who puts my makeup on and Robert doesn't, but just getting up and being ready and thinking, right, what do we need to do? So I really hope he's going to have a lovely, lovely, lovely lay-in and weekend, which I'm sure they will. They always have lovely weekends when it's one of their birthdays. So it'll just be nice for them to spend some time together. Yeah, Brigitte says, where's Robert? It's fine. He's shopping. he's just been held up. You know what queues in shops and out of shops are like. So we just said, it's fine, just chill. So he may make it, but who knows? But getting the essential food in and cat food in
is important.
Yeah, because we're not popping out every other day now, are we? We're trying to be as we can.
Well, usually either me or more, we'll pop in somewhere on the way home from work, for example. Yeah, we'll just pick a few things up. We'll see what's got a yellow sticker on, you know. But of course, we're shopping pretty much once a week now, so I'm actually having to make an old-fashioned rolling list and plan and work out where I actually put a week's worth of stuff.
Yeah,
which is very peculiar. So yeah, we are going back to shopping the olden days way.
We are, because I went out and I couldn't. I went into like the biggest store that we have in the area. It's a flagship, Asda. No flour, gluten-free flour or anything. So I can't go to the normal shops. I went to my little greengrocers and they've got big sacks of flour for people in. So that's brilliant. But gluten-free is gluten-free, isn't it? So slightly different. So I made rice pudding last night because I wanted a nice pudding. Ooh. And I thought, I can't bake cake. I can't do pastry. You know, I'm not in my own home, of which I have copious amounts of different flours. Even if they go past the use by date, they're still fine. You know, as long as they're not 10 years old, they're still fine for a certain amount of time. So I've got tons of stuff at home. But here I haven't. So we had a lovely rice pudding last night. And we sort of forget, don't we? But when you have a look in the cupboard and you rummage around, you find some lovely things. You really do. So we enjoyed that last night.
Good.
It's a bit like looking at your stash, isn't it? Because when you always think, got to go out, get new wool.
And you forget what's shoved in the back of the cupboard.
I know.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So do you know what? I'm absolutely loving knitting. Because
brilliant.
My two main projects are crochet at the moment. So just to knit, so I don't have to look at what my hands are doing is amazing. I have so missed knitting. So
good.
Well,
I have had from Wool Warehouse. You may remember I'm working on greys. Yeah.
Oh yes.
This kind of got put on a pile for a week. Because this outside edge of grey, there are 36 blocks, okay? I ran out of this grey 4.5 blocks from the end.
Oh.
So I had to buy, unfortunately, a whole nother massive ball for around about 75 grams worth. But never mind. Yeah. It's economical stuff, shall we say. This was never going to be an expensive heirloom blanket. This was one that was going to be used. Which is what I like doing with my stuff. I like using it. So anyway, so I've now finished all my outside charcoal grey. And I've turned the pile of blocks back over. And I'm now putting the black edge on. So there we go.
Oh.
So I'm back on this one now. Although my corner to corner is actually going quite well. I'm very pleased with that.
The colours look gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way that turned out. It took me a long time to get the hang of crocheting with that yarn because I'm used to something that's probably a bit more heavy duty and a bit more solid.
Yeah.
Whereas that one is very light, certainly physically light in weight, and it's difficult to feel what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
Once I got over that, it's coming along a treat. And yes, it doesn't frog very easily. It does if you've only just recently crocheted it, like if you've just noticed you've missed a stitch and you can frog it straight back. But if you notice something sort of like half a line away or half a row away, it's very difficult to frog to that point. So I'm being much more careful now, watching for mistakes as I go along. So there we go. But you live and learn, you see. I'm not used to using that particularly expensive yarn. So there we go.
It's interesting, isn't it? When we start to use, as you say, more expensive yarns or with higher wool contents that are perfect for the project that we had. It was Thursday, wasn't it? When Trisha came on about steeking.
It was indeed, yeah.
And these are all the wools and the yarns that are perfect for things like steeking, but they're not great for frogging. And we do get very relaxed in the man-made world, don't we? The acrylic world.
Yes, it's a little complacent about how easy it is to manage, but there we go.
I know. This one, this Boram U DK, is actually really good for frogging, and when you frog it, it goes like it retains all of the curled shape. So it's even when you unravel it, when you frog, it's still all really curly as if it's still in the stitches. So it's beautiful, really, really nice. And I have to say, it is absolutely in my top 3 yarns to use. This, Norro, and I don't know what the other one is. I will think of something at some point, but I absolutely love this. Really do. I've got 2 projects, so hopefully this one will be finished. The Ganzi one will be finished some year.
Well, it's not going to go off.
No, that's the lovely thing with it, isn't it? With yarn and wool, and I tell you something I really, really love.
Ooh.
And if ever I find really old-fashioned wool, when I was little, acrylic was more like a crepe wool, and it was quite textured.
Yeah.
And it was quite, the colours were quite dull. And if ever I see any of that crepe style old-fashioned wool, I have to buy it. Honestly, I absolutely love it. So, and you don't find much. It's only when it's found in attics, etc. It might be in a charity shop. But I do love the look of that because there's no sheen to it at all. It's really quite unique.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
Right, let's do a couple of comments because people were checking in. So, Brigitte says, I was late because I was sitting in front of the "you didn't cut it" notification. The day can only get better. Oh, don't worry, Brigitte. We've all hit the wrong button occasionally. And actually, you could say that you were extra early for this evening. Yeah. So that's great. You were the first one in. Bonus. Totally. Right. Sally asks, have you tried porridge oats ground for flour? Okay, I'll leave that with you.
Yes, I have. Just to make you aware, for anybody who's gluten-free, oats have gluten in them. So a lot of people are intolerant to them. And it's fine to make that flour, but I'm not at my home. I don't have anything like a NutriBullet in my parents' home. I'm not going to buy one. I had to buy a replacement Henry Hoover for my husband yesterday off my private account because he'd blown the old one up. So with the amount of plaster that's gone off it. So never mind. And going back to that, and the other thing as well, what's really, really hard with gluten-free baking is you do need a mix of flours to make it light. So if you just put one flour in, it tends to be very dense. And whilst for certain, what I would term more continental style cakes, which I do love, that's fine. My parents wouldn't be impressed. So I've got a little bit of flour left, but I'm going to try a different supermarket at some point this week and see if I can find any. So thank you ever so much. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Because somebody suggested, could I just use almonds and put them in the NutriBullet? So I could, but the last time, when you just grind almonds, they're very, very fatty. So they're fine for certain things, but you can't make pastry or anything with them. So I actually go into Nature's Harvest and spend 15 quid on a bag of defatted almond flour. So it's they have to take a lot of the fat out because almond flour is beautiful, but the fat just makes it so dense and it's not that nice. So
I didn't know it was a thing. I'll have to look out for it. But
Yeah, so I could talk about different flowers forever. I'm just about to start try a different flower as well. I found another company, and they've actually got it on their website that this certain flower you can substitute it one for one, but you've got to trial it.
Right.
So I'm going to get some, and they have said, look, it's all showing that sell-by date has gone at the end of last year, but it's still fine. We've had it checked with whatever, and I'm totally comfortable with use by dates, sell by dates. They're still fine after that. So I'm going to try some of that as well. Who knows? So I am in Leeds. By the time I get home, I think that most of my flour will be out of date because it's been weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. No, it won't. It'll still be fine.
It'll be fine.
But I think it's just nice to think, what can I make with what's in the cupboards?
Yes.
And we've had 3 rice puddings in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Fruit sometimes. Yeah.
Linda and Helen both say morning all. Welcome in. Sorry, we were rabbiting. I did notice you come in. Lovely to see you both this morning. Brigitte says, thank you, Claire, for the encouragement. That's about this evening and sitting in the wrong room. And Sally said, understand Rio. Somebody suggested it yesterday.
Thank you so much, Sally. I know that you're always, always, always helping, which is brilliant. So please keep them coming. And the gluten-free world is fun when there's no flour.
Yes. Well, I tend to find with the supermarkets, though, at the moment, it depends on, they're all getting flour in, but not much and for a very short period of time. So it's only when you happen to be in the right shop on the right day do you pick it up. So
and wheat flour is, of course, what they're going to try and get more than the mix of everything that we have to have in a bag to make one bag. Because normally you do blend at least 3 flours, 3 to 4 flours. Right. So oh, Sally's got Dove's Farm in the cupboard. Perfect. I think that's what I've got at my home, as well as this defatted almond flour and everything else. Interestingly, though, there's always a little thing of xanthan gum that I keep at my parents'.
I have that.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marion's got bread flour. Enjoy the bread. I was actually saying, what?
Oh, sorry. I was just agreeing, saying good.
Yeah. So, I do love, if anyone can see, I have got rhubarb.
Hey.
Rhubarb wool on pink needles. I just love it when Zing does that, when you think I'm actually on the right size needle for my outfit, well, whatever the garment that I'm doing. And whenever I'm doing that, if I'm going on a train or if I'm going out, I know we can't at the moment, I love sitting there with coordinating needles and wool, because everybody thinks that you must go out and buy them specifically. We know that we can't. They just come as whatever colour, but I do enjoy it.
It's still a nice synchronicity when everything kind of matches, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I love this. I really do.
Good. Oh, yes, it's all really coming together for you now, right, at the moment.
I know. So good
right,
morning,
Linda says, Angela, I have an independent supplier of all flowers in a little shop near us. I'll send you a message.
Thank you so much.
So there we go.
Fabulous.
Right. I will see if I can get Facebook working. Bear with me. I'm on my little computer today because I was working on my big computer. So we shall have to see if it goes. Oh, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum.
Well, thank you so much, because I don't know why, but on this computer that I'm on, that I do this on, for some reason, I cannot open Facebook on it.
Oh.
It won't. I just can't. And on my other computer, which I do everything on, I can't actually
frog on it.
Gogglefrogs. So never mind.
Oh well.
Is Robert okay? Yes, he's absolutely fine. He was shopping. There were long queues. So just said, please, Robert, just chill. Everybody else goes out and does shopping. You are allowed to go out shopping, and so we'll just wait for him to. He may arrive today. He may not. So it just depends, because we just can't guarantee what the queues are like at the moment, can we?
No, I got stuck out the other week. So
did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was nice. We went to Peck's Farm, so it was worth it.
Oh, I've been looking at their pictures. They've got an amazing array of plants, things for the garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. Looks lovely. I'll miss all of it, of course, because I'm here.
No, it would have been. It'll all be worth it.
It will.
Right.
I hope everyone's been getting lots and lots of time for your projects, because I know it's lovely to get a few things done. So hopefully we're getting quite a few projects finished. Hello.
Hi.
And breathe. Take deep breath and breathe. You're all right.
Will be, thank you. Anything that could go wrong has gone wrong this morning. And I was first in the queue at Tesco's at 7:10 this morning.
What?
I know. I know. Well, they don't open till 8 o'clock now anyway.
No.
And I thought, oh, that's fine. I'll scan and pack. I'll have plenty of time. I'll be home by 9:15. All undone. Lovely, jubbly. And then I went to do the scan and thingy, and it wouldn't accept my password into the app. So I had to reset my password. My credit card had expired, and I didn't have my wallet on me. Gary was on a call. So I thought, right, fine. I'll fly around, throw everything in the trolley, do it the old-fashioned way, and then get to the queue at 8:30. And it takes me 45 minutes to get through the queue. And then I go to pay and go to do contactless, and their stupid machines are like, no, only £45. I'm like, it's Apple Pay. No, contactless. No, it's Apple Pay. It's supposed to be more than £45. It does it for a reason. So Apple take the risk. No, it's £45. Sorry. So then I go to pay by my club card app. And of course, I can't pay by my club card app because I still haven't put my credit card on. So then I have to ring Gary. Gary's on a call. And then to make matters worse, I go to get in the car, and one of my bags of shopping just goes bag for life. Oh, no. Strap just ripped.
Oh no.
And then the absolute icing on the cake was the road from Sandhills to town is closed because they're resurfacing it. It's closed for 3 months to resurface. They sent us a letter 2 weeks ago. I knew about that, no problem. Drove the long way around to get home.
Yeah.
Get to the roundabout at the top of the road where the new college is.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, door's going. Hang on.
Oh dear.
Sometimes
you have one of those days.
Yes.
Doesn't happen very often.
No, thankfully. Oh. Bum, I think is the word to say. That's not nice.
So yeah, it's a cluster. What's it?
And I hope. Whoops. Sorry, I'm just. Has it arrived? Yay!
So then I get to the roundabout by the college, and they've closed the roundabout. So then I have to go the long way round to get into my estate, which is to my house, which is at the top of Clay Furlong, and they're not even doing the roadworks at the roundabout. They closed it 2 days early. Anyway,
you're here now.
I know. I know. I had to have a cup of tea. I was ready for about 15:15, but I had to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
So, and that's just made my day.
I was just about to send you off to get one.
What have you got?
So that's made my day.
Huh?
What is it?
What's it say?
Mothy and the Squid. Very good.
You're not allowed to open it until Saturday.
Okay, thanks. Oh dear. I did have a good night last night though. Wherever it's gone. What have I done with it? Oh, where's that gone? I wound one project.
Ooh. That's nice.
And then wound that as well.
Lovely.
What? Oh, is that from Toft?
Yeah.
Ah, that's the cuttlefish. If anyone doesn't know, that's cuttlefish. We weren't a great lover of the cuttlefish pattern like thing, but the wool is just stunning. Yeah.
So I'm going to make my own pattern for that. And I'm going to do hopefully a vertically cast on scarf rather than a horizontal with fringe at the same time. I hope. That's the plan anyway. Got to do a mini test first to make sure it works.
Brilliant.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Anyway, sorry, enough about me. How are you two?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I've been up to my elbows in work and waiting for my hay fever tablets to kick in. So if it looks like it's uncomfortable, but it's not the end of the world. But it's all a bit rife at the moment. So I would say if I've looked like I've crawled out of a hedge backwards at the moment, that's because I'm still in the process of, well, not waking up. I've been up for a while, but you know how some mornings it just takes a while. So I'm kind of there at the moment. So coffee, crochet, you lot, fab.
And how are you, Angela?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah. Had a good night sleep. I've watched 3/4 of the second episode of the new Walter Presents. It's actually a French drama with subtitles, and it's called The Other Mother. It's a little boy, and he tells a psychiatrist that his mum and dad that's not his real mum. So, and it's again, Scandi noir type thing. So I managed to watch 3/4 of an episode last night before I fell asleep. So that's a little bit of something to do these arms with. So I might have an hour after this and just watch another episode and a quarter. So I'm at the end of episode 3. So all good here.
Excellent.
Good. Did you do music this morning?
No.
No.
Okay, that's fine. We'll carry it over.
Yeah, absolutely. Although what you can do though for us is the Facebook.
Okie dokie.
If you're in a position to, that is.
I certainly am. Just give me 1 second.
Well, while you're doing that, I shall comment because it's nice to be interactive. Right then. So they were talking about your story. Oh no, you poor chap, Robert, says Helen. And Safia says, oh my word, what a morning. Well, absolutely. While you popped away, we were all rather commiserating with you. Sally says, hopefully we can cheer him up, make it a better day. Of course. Georgie is sending hugs and hopes your day gets better. And Marion says, all's well, now you have a lovely parcel to open. Well, it's going to have to sit there for a couple of days. Linda says, I've got Mothy and Squid envy. Well, frankly, Linda, so have I. Helen says, ooh, looks lovely. Linda says, Claire, thanks for the reminder. Just popped a pill. Puffy eyes here this week. Yeah, it's been a bit of a week, actually. So I hope yours recovers soon. So Helen says, are you hooked on Tesco's? Morrison's queues have been okay and the store is closer to you. Just a thought. Yeah?
I had to go into Morrison's on Sunday because we ran out of cat food and they have no queue control, no social distancing, nothing in place. So I wasn't going there at all.
Oh, dear.
And I hate food shopping anyway. And we haven't done a good food shop in over 6 weeks. And I think that just,
Yeah.
Last
time I did Morrison's, it was at 8 o'clock in the morning, just as it opened. Nobody was there, and it was fine. But it's not somewhere I would go later in the day either. So there we go. So Jackie says that's why we do click and collect. It's so much easier. Yeah, I haven't really given that much of a thought. I mean, the thing is I actually quite like shopping. Not at the moment.
That's good if you can get. That's good if you can get a click and collect. I've been trying for weeks because I didn't want to go in. But anyway, never mind. It's done. It's out of the way.
Yeah.
I've got lots and lots of wine. I've got enough food to last me for weeks now.
Brilliant.
So I don't have to go. Right. Facebook page is open. Let's.
Brill.
Oh, I can't wait to see what we've got.
So remember, folks, it's Work in Progress Wednesday, and there's been lots and lots of posts over the last day. Deborah has posted rainbow socks work in progress. Look at that yarn. Beautiful.
I love those colours.
That is West Yorkshire Spinners, isn't it? Because I've got a pair of socks in that upstairs. My first ever pair of socks I knitted was from that. And it stripes up beautifully.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous.
Sally says both work in progress and yarn coordinated needles.
Hey!
It's lovely. That's just a beautiful contrast, isn't it? You don't normally see them.
Do you remember the cross stitch that I showed last week?
Yeah.
Dawn is currently doing it, so that's what it's going to look like when it's. And it's the worst cross stitch I've ever had to do, but thoroughly enjoyed it because you have to do quarter stitches and 3/4 stitches and blending, and it's gorgeous.
Fair enough. Well, that gets your skill level up, doesn't it?
It does. Linda has posted a shawl using alpaca drop sun in Peru, brought home by my son 12 years ago, and another pair of mice gloves. I'm so pleased I printed that for you now, Linda. That's the second pair. I love the colour that you picked for them as well. And that wool from Peru, I love the striping in it. Angela has posted her cardigan that she's currently doing the I-cord bind off for.
It has been screwed up in a bag for over a year in the garage. Wow. That's why it needs blocking, seriously. And arms.
Brigitte, which fruit are they?
It's I'll tell you, it's Yorkshire berry, I believe. And again, they've all crumpled together because it's not been blocked properly. So it's the crowberry. Crowberries are pretty evergreen shrubs that can be found on the Penwyn moors. They bear dark purple edible berries and have glossy green leaves.
Lovely.
Trish district, not bad.
Trish has posted day 6 of the online International Fibre Festival, and it's Shetland today.
Very good.
Linda has posted a picture from the BBC archives of lace knitting. Brigitte has posted a blanket that she's currently in the middle of making. It's still a work in progress.
Very good. Lovely.
I love
Lovely.
that maroon or burgundy. Right. So these are Dawn's projects. So she's got a quilt for her cousin's son. She's making.
Good.
Those fabrics. Blanket for a friend. Love the fleck in the wall.
Yeah.
That's the cross stitch that we showed. That will be a snood. Now in a heap and needs unravelling. So does that mean that you tried to make it and it went wrong? And if you need it unravelling, I'm more than happy to come and pick it up from you and do it for you. This is the Japanese flower cushion that she started a few weeks ago.
Super.
I really like that.
I do really, like that.
Tension square.
Well done to people who do tension squares.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's tension square for the jumper for her. That's probably why she did it. That colour looks lovely, Dawn.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what else we've got. Marion Dye, work in progress. Wednesday, Leaf Shawl by Mary the Knitter, using Regaia from the stash. Regia, sorry. There we go.
Oh.
It's lovely. Love those colours.
Right. That looks like it's been, sorry to say this, but from the picture on the ball band, it looks like it's been in your stash for probably a decade or two. That's a very 1970s picture. I'm surprised it lasted that long if it has been. And then we've got a couple of posts from yesterday. Dawn talks about Quaver, her cat. Yeah, that's all I can see in there at the moment.
Jolly good.
Brilliant.
We're on posting today, so at least we can show them tomorrow.
Sorry?
So do carry on posting them to posting pictures today, so we can bring them tomorrow. And then tomorrow is Freehand Thursday. So if there's anything that you've made completely without a pattern, so as an example would be Claire's blanket, then do pop it in the pictures, and we will talk about them tomorrow. I might actually dig out the two cows, because they're patterns that I made. Yes, I might do that actually. Right. Let's see what people have said. Linda says, a friend saw the gloves and asked if I'd make a pair, and I had enough left from the first pair to make another set. Fab pattern, Robert. Thank you. And then the video is from 1964 from the BBC archive, showing the knitters and their shawls. Brigitte says, what berries? She couldn't understand it properly. They were crowberries, did you say?
Yeah, crowberries.
And did you say they're found in the Auckland moors?
Crowberry, and they are in the Pennine Moors.
Ah.
There we go, Brigitte. I've just written it down.
Hopefully you got that.
Georgie says, yes, I'm really naughty. I don't do tension squares. I don't either. I think I don't really understand a tension square. I think the idea behind a tension square is if you're changing for the wall from a pattern to something else, then maybe you'd use a tension square to see how much you're going to use up and whether it knits up.
Yeah, it's also to check your tension as a knitter, because whoever wrote the pattern might be a looser or a tighter knitter than you are. And certainly a looser or a tighter crocheter than you are. So it's whoever's written a pattern, they've written it for the way they knit, because that's the way they knit. Okay, you would write a pattern the way you crochet. So if you give a pattern to somebody else, they might be a tighter knitter or a looser knitter than you are. So the idea behind the tension square is so that you can judge how your knitting is as against somebody else's, so you don't end up with a jumper that's 2 sizes too small.
I see. And then once you've done the square and you're happy with it, do you then pull it back and start the project?
Yeah, why not? It's also, so if your tension square is a little smaller, then what you would do is you would up your needle size so that your tension square is the same size as theirs. Or if your tension square is a bit big, then you get smaller needles out. So the idea is you adjust your equipment to end up with the same size square as they had. So yeah, it's all about making sure that you end up with the right size garment at the end of it. So that's why they're important, really.
Sorry, I do think that with the tension square, you're supposed to do an edging around the outside. So you're supposed to put a border around the outside of it so you can see how the stitches sit. And I do know that people do also wash it as well. See how it then wash it. Or there's people like Georgie and me, who most of the time fine. I'm just going for it. Which is why sometimes, and also I find with knitting, the more relaxed I get, or the more into a project I get, my tension can vary a little bit. So I tend to be much tighter when I start off. But yeah, we're all different. But hey, as long as we're going to wear it or love it, we're fine. But people who make things for themselves and always wear them, it's because they absolutely get the tension. They will redo a pattern according to their shape and size as well. And I know that's something that I've done a few times, works sometimes, not always. But I do tend to modify patterns slightly. But yeah, tension squares. Whoa.
Marion says that her yarn is at least from the 80s. Okay.
Wow.
I'm surprised it lasted that long in your stash. And then Brigitte says, I have yarn in my stash that I bought in Germany in 1982.
Wow.
And Brigitte says, thank you, Angela, for the explanation. She'd never heard of crowberries before.
That's all right. I hadn't. I just saw the pattern and I finished article when I went into Barham U. Sadly, they are no more. They're now a cooperative and go to shows only. But yeah, and I just thought, you know what? That's so different. I have to do it. So yeah.
Brigitte says, I'm a dunce with numbers, but fortunately Rod isn't. When I had 2 colours of yarn and he wanted a waistcoat out of it, he worked out I had enough to complete the front panels in the dark colour. I had about 30 centimetres left after the cast off. Wow, well done.
Nice one.
Helen says, Marion and Brigitte have legend stashes. Marion says, one day I'll do guided tours.
Nice.
Oh dear.
And for anybody who bought, if you're in Leighton Buzzard, Le Buzz, Marion and Sally were working really, really well at the what's the Age charity shop?
It was Age UK.
Age UK charity shop at Age Concern, and they had thousands, must have been thousands of balls of wool, of cones of wool, and I don't know where it came from, but a lot of it was, I heard that some of the prices on some of this stuff was in the old D, so not pence, that was pre-decimalisation. So did you get a decimal in 72 or 73?
72, I think.
Was it? So a lot of that wool is pre-1972. So, and I've got some in the back of my car. Who knows if that particular stuff was pre? We don't know. But some of them is rather old. So, yeah, I think a few of us could have some wool at least as old as ourselves, if not older. That's scary, isn't it?
Thank you, Marion. 14th of February, 1971.
Oh, what
there we go.
Valentine's Day that was that year. Suddenly you go out to dinner and you have to pay in a totally different currency. You've gone from D the previous day to pounds and pence. That must have been weird.
Yes.
And apparently,
yes, but at least working out the 20% service charge would be an awful lot easier to work out.
I do not know how people worked out the old stuff before. I just can't get it. Sorry, what were you showing us, Robert?
The picture that Brigitte's just sent of the waistcoat.
Oh, look at that.
Really bad screen reflection.
Oh,
I
well
recognise
done.
that wall. I think I brought some of this in the first ever Spotted Sheep sale. And I don't think I ever got around to using it. Yes, that's lovely. Sally says, can say there will be plenty for when they reopen. Yes, they have some of that crepe you like.
Don't tempt me. Sally, last time I came into that shop, I came out with 2 big bags full. And I still haven't had it wound. Robert kindly offered to wind it for me because I need to wind it into balls so I can use 2 or 3 balls at the same time and make it up to DK or 4-ply or something. Because I think some of what I bought was a 1-ply. I don't know why I ever did that, but who knows. It was a beautiful colour, that's why. So we're going to get it into lots of balls so I can then use 3, 4, however many at once. Go on.
No, go on.
This is a question. So if you wound it into 4 balls, could you then twist all 4 balls together and make another ball? Or would that not work?
Don't see why not.
What do you mean? Sorry.
If it's 1-ply,
yeah.
So if you roll 1-ply into 4 balls, can you then use those 4 balls on a Swift and make it into 1 ball using all 4?
You'd still have 4 strands though, because it hasn't been twisted.
Right, so that's fine. So it won't work that way.
You could, in effect, once you've got the 4 balls, yes, you could then wind them into 1. Then they wouldn't look particularly well because you'd have to do 4 stitches at once, and you'd be working with 4 strands all the time, and I think they might get a bit twisted. Sally's saying try it. So what we could do is just take like a meter or 2 meters, wind it, and then see what it looks like for you.
Yeah.
Before we do all of it. Helen says she hadn't long started work when decimalisation started. Jackie says fab waistcoat. Georgie says that's lovely, Brigitte. She said yes, I did get the wool and she bought the rest. Linda says off now. Husband is going to cut hair for me. Wish me luck. Good luck, Linda. Marion says I worked in a bank and we had to change all the balances over from pound SD to Poundy. Dormant accounts got closed and it was a nightmare, but we enjoyed ourselves. Linda says they showed both prices in the shops and had TV ads to help with the transition. I had lessons at school and even dominoes to help learn. Wow. Helen says, you are brave, Linda. And apparently I disappeared, but that's your end, not mine, I'm afraid, Helen. Sally says she was working as a cashier. Evelyn says, morning, had a lazy afternoon yesterday watching Shetland Week with Lindy and Janet. My sister lives in Orkney on the island of Bury. Maybe one day I'll stretch up to Shetland. I've brought wool from the Orkney sheep and made a cushion with trees on it. The trees in Orkney didn't grow tall due to the winds.
Oh. Just want to say a huge hello to somebody who I know is going to be watching on replay. And that is let me just double check. It is to Pat. So I just want to say, hope everything went well today. I know that you messaged me to say that you won't be on today. So a big hello today from all of us and all of your friends. Yeah. When I was little, talking about this decimalisation thing, I remember we going up the village here, and there was a shop there called Jessie Stevenson's. And when you got to the bit where you paid, like my mum used to give the money over, and they used to stick it into a little bucket type thing that was attached to like a string. And this string went flying to the corner of the shop where there was a person, must have been the finance person, who sat in a little tiny office right up in the heights of this shop in the corner, and then took the money out, put the change in, and this little basket came back, and the cashier threw it and gave you your change. And it was just so bizarre that when I was little, that used to happen in the shops. And doesn't anymore, thankfully, because it was so antiquated, so old-fashioned, took forever. But yeah, that was shortly after, well, a few years after decimalisation, but it just seems so antiquated now. And I know it's a lot of years ago, but I don't think it's that long ago. But hey ho, Apple Pay the Apple Pay wasn't working this morning, was it? For you,
I want to say.
Oh, no, it's just Tesco's because they've.
I know it's Tesco's.
They limit is £45, which is ridiculous.
I know, stupid.
Right, Janet's making a move, so have a good few days, Janet. See you on Monday.
Bye.
Okay. Brigitte says it took me ages to sort the pound, shillings and pence, and then they changed it to decimal for you. So here's an interesting one, Brigitte. Were you decimal in Germany? I mean, of course, not pounds, but it would be marks, wouldn't it? I'm assuming marks and pfennigs were decimal back in the 70s as well. And then you came over here to our ridiculous system. Helen says, do you know we use a pneumatics tube system to deliver samples in pods to the labs from the wards? I am so pleased that you still use a pneumatic system because they are fascinating. And a lot of supermarkets used to use them as well. But I'm glad to see there's one still on the go. It's where you put things in little pods and they disappear up a tube.
And they still do, and they're a pain in the arse when they break down.
Oh, I bet they are. It always looks a bit of fun. So Jackie says, I'm off, guys. See you tomorrow. I must really get on with work, but you are a welcome distraction. Glad to hear it, Jackie. Have a really good day.
It's 11 o'clock again.
It is.
Where did that time go?
There we go.
I can't believe it. Wow. So I still love the logo, Robert.
You're welcome. I think it looks better on the white rather than the black.
Yeah. But it's all lovely. So we're 11 o'clock. Oh my word.
Ooh.
Sorry, Pete.
Righty ho. I've got to crack back on with some work, I think. Boom.
Thank
Have a
you,
lovely day, everybody.
for coming on board. And Robert, I think you need to sit down and have another cup of tea now.
Maybe some tea, that might help. Having a breakfast.
Oh, wow. Yes, go and have your breakfast. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right then. Bye.